Good evening, folks, and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 1 for tonight's dose of racing action. And I think I've got to say this first, these numbers are atrocious. 14 for Tier 1, and then we had almost 19 drivers before the race started all checked in. Very disappointed, but we're going to be here nonetheless, commentating on what will be round number 8 of this championship. We are fully in the business end now, with 2 rounds to go after this being Abu Dhabi and Bahrain, a trip to the Middle East, of course. And of course, this one is the actual Bahrain Grand Prix, as opposed to the Bahrain Grand Prix that we had in Malaysia this year. I think I would have preferred Malaysia, you know? Anyway, we're out on track. Well, I'd say we are. I'd say Griffin and everyone else is. And we've got to run down the championship order now, and I think it's very much a straight fight now to the end between Finley and Ryderdale. Finley is leading the way after a DNF from Ryderdale in Singapore, which has led to a big change in the lead. But it will be Finley and Ryderdale there fighting at the front. Kvyat Verstappen's not too far behind. He's in 3rd place right now. Lifebout, who's not here tonight, and he's going to let Aston Martin's chances slip there as well in the constructors potentially, as you've then got Chris rounding off the top 5. Goes Koru, Hugo, Daka, Jacko, top 10. Krezdimu, Magnus, Reshka, Griffin, Kyler, and Apalisa. Lawrence Palang, Formula Leon, Tomic, and Joey B at the top 22 in the drivers as Griffin gets us going in towards turn number 1. The center S's through there, then in towards turn number 3, as tight as to that curve as you possibly can. Down the main straight we go in the Alpine, all the way down to turn number 4. Let's see how committed Griffin is. Lift a few downshifts. I don't know if that's normal for this iteration of the game, but that seemed very tentative through there. As we go up into Ferradura now, the horseshoe, as we go into sector 2 in this twisty technical part of the circuit, lots of slow corners, lots of long corners as well, hairpins and prolonged corners, let's say, and we're through the final hairpin of this sector, and then one more left-hander to go to finish off sector 2 into sector 3, which is really just one corner and then a bunch of flat-out kinks in a straight, more or less. So through we go. Griffin going to come all the way around to set the first time of the evening in this Tier 1 qualifying session. Let's see what he can manage as he crosses the line. 1 minute 9.1. Going to be very closely followed by a Mercedes of Rooms, who goes around 8.7. And then we've got one of the white dotted cars. That's Verstappen going to the top of the timing tables. Then we've got one of the Williams. That'll be Tricky Badike making his way. P3 for Tricky. One of the Audis, I think, or maybe Ferrari of Hugo starting a lap. That was indeed the Ferrari of Hugo. Lawrence has gone into 6th place. Cora's just crossed the line into 3rd. You've then got one of the Audis. That's Ghost up into 3rd place as well. The following Audi behind him is Jack Alaco, who's gone into 7th. Let's see, we've got the Red Bull B Perez starting a lap. Denko coming across the line now here in Tier 1, up into P2 for the Greek. Let's see who else is out there. Finley and Ryderdale, the people to watch. Finley's invalidated this one. Ryderdale's not on an out lap, actually. This is a slow lap for Ryderdale as it prepares to go again on this one. I think Finley might be doing the same thing as well. So you get the telemetry up for qualifying. I like it for qualifying. Not so much the race, a lot to focus on. B. Perez invalidated the lap. Hugo making his way around as well in towards the final corner of this racetrack. A bit squirrely, but actually Hugo not on a lap on this occasion. Actually, he's got 100% battery, so it's definitely not a competitive lap. B. Perez will be going again. Of course, Finley's in pits, is he? No, he is out on track, but he's invalidated again. Struggling with track limits is our championship leader. So this is the championship challenger right here, Ryderdale, and he'll be hoping that his qualifying is perfect, as it has been for a lot of the qualifying sessions this season in that Aston Martin. In a moment, we'll take a look over the Constructors' Championship just to see where we sit right now, because it has got a lot closer, and we do have a bit of a fight on our hands, maybe. Especially with the current state of the grid right now. ET8 Ryderdale, though, making his way down towards the line. His first time of the session crossing the line. It's a 1 minute 8.1. very much clear of everybody else. That's 5/10, half a second in layman's terms, as opposed to the next nearest rival, which is QVR Verstappen. And so what we're really looking at today then for Aston Martin is damage control, as they've got both McLarens out there, but only one Aston Martin. It's a 25-point gap. Somebody's crashed against the wall. Looks like it was an Alflo. He's gone off at Ferragura and lost his front wing. That's a bit of a strange incident there. Finley's out on circuit. Is this a lap though? Maybe it could be. It looks like it is. So we'll follow along. I'm actually going to be recharging all that battery through here. No reason to really use it through this section of the circuit. Use a little bit here. Yes, he does. Then I'll just tap to get himself out of the corner. But it's 25 points then, Aston Martin and McLaren, so it's damage control for Aston Martin. And of course, if either doubt DNFs again or scores low, then it's going to be a huge point swing for the McLaren. So Koru has to show up tonight. He's in P7 right now, so we're not looking too bad. Let's see. Hello to the two people watching so far. As Finley goes in the 1 minute 7.8, so clearly more time out there to be found. Finley well ahead of everybody else. Well, I'd say everybody. Well, yeah, everybody else and Ryder. Hugo's also set his time at 1 minute 8.4. That's his first time of the session, and he's up there in P3. So you've got a sort of clear top four here. Denko's improved his time actually as well, I think, on that last run. So he's up there in this as well. So a lot of drivers could be very well in this session. I think the main battle's got to be Finley and Ryderdale though. You can't take your eyes off of it because it's that close. It's 5 points between them in the drivers' no, 4 points, pardon me, in the drivers' championship, and it's interesting to see because it was looking like it could be Ryderdale's championship, and then, wow, the luck ran out, I guess, for Ryderdale. It's Finley going again by the looks of things. No, he's into the pit. He doesn't even bother braking. I think you get penalised for that in real life if you were to do that. There's QVR Verstappen. Griffin is further behind, so let's watch the Cadillac. You know what? I need to get me some Cadillac merch, or at least a Cadillac t-shirt. I saw somebody at work today wearing one, and I thought it looked really cool. So I bought one. 0.07, almost 800ths of a second improvement for QVR Verstappen. It's not going to see him anywhere, really. Well, might see him just ahead of Denko, in fact, but will it see him any further than that? Not quite. Just ahead of Denko by, let's say, just over. Can't do maths. It's been a long day. Yeah, just over 200ths of a second. It's very hot today as well. I don't know if you've noticed. I hope you're all keeping nice and cool and well hydrated in this horrible weather that we are having. Who is the next driver on the lap? It's not Nowflo. Nowflo's about to start a lap though. I believe we did see who was next on the lap. Jack Alaco's certainly on a lap. He's a 10th after the minute. Tricky Bedard has got a Mercedes right behind him. And in fact, I think they're both on a lap. And I think Rooms is going to feel very much aggrieved by this. He's going to get quite the toe though as they come down the main straight. But he's going to feel Triku has blocked him. But they're both on laps. Rooms has managed to improve nonetheless. Triku, I don't think, maybe did improve a little bit, but not too much. Jacko improved behind him. Is that Lawrence on a lap behind? Yes, it is. Is that Koru? That is Koru. Koru's into the pit. So now looking at the Alpine of Griffin making their way around in P7 right now. There's room for improvement into the pit. How about Ghost? Where's Ghost? There he is, getting out of the way for the Ferrari. That is Hugo starting on that. Ryderdale 2/10ths up on his previous. Oh my word. Who was that going slowly across the line? That was Ghost. That got very, very close. I don't know how much it affected Ryderdale's time, but that might end up in the stewards' ring later on. Denko's about to start a lap. Rooms has just finished a lap. Jacko will have just finished a lap as well. Tricky has. So I think we're going back down to Lawrence now, who's almost 0.2 of a second up through Sector 2. Let's see what he has done as he crosses the Sector 2 line. Let's see if he can improve that time, get into the 1:09. Surely, yeah, that's much better from Lawrence. Almost 6/10. Yeah, 6/10. I do know what I'm talking about sometimes. Almost 6/10 of a second up on his previous run around the circuit. That should hopefully get him potentially ahead of Now Flow if he can continue that improvement. Not quite. It's a 1:09.5. Stays down in P14 for the time being. We're going to have one more chance to get a good lap in. Beaker is starting a lap. But you've got Hugo about to finish his second lap. There, runs out of battery across the line. Improves the time. Can't improve the position though. Is that Ghost about to come through? Yes, it is. I think he's starting a lap. I think he got a bit delayed on the previous one. Finley's out there, but not on a lap. The Haas behind. I think that's Denko, who did not improve the previous lap. Beakerez, no improvement there. I think this is out laps. I think they're noticing what everyone else with the top guys are doing, and they're following suit. Everyone out on the circuit. Rooms will be coming into the pit, so it's not. Triku's a 10.5 up on his previous. That could see him ahead of Jack Lacko, maybe even Koru as well. It's very close between them. Could get right up to 8th place actually with this lap, but not quite. 9th, a few hundredths of a second away from getting Ghost there. So not quite for the Czech driver. Let's see, is Hugo on another lap? No. How about Ghost? Ghost is out on a lap this time. He's 0.130 up on his previous. Can he get any more as he makes his way down the main straight in towards the final part of the circuit? And it's P7 for Ghost. He goes narrowly ahead of Griffin, but only improves to 1 position. Not what he would have wanted, I don't think. Oh, that fan is glorious. Oh dear, Triku invalidated. I think he's on an out lap though. The session's actually got still quite a bit of time left. So maybe those out on track have got some time. I mean, it's a short circuit here. It's only just... It's about a couple seconds longer lap time than Austria. I'm not sure in terms of the kilometres. I think Austria is shorter. Slightly. Koru, P9. Just slightly ahead of Tricky Badayak. How about Hugo? He's trying to improve. Let's see if he can get it across the line. Nothing. No improvement from Hugo. He's got a bit of time to go again, potentially. Maybe save the tyres, go one more time, maybe bolt on a new pair, go again. It's a shame you can't just, do a pit stop during qualifying like you can do in real life. Denko's having a go now as well, down the main straight. Drains that battery, only good enough for 0.003 of a second, which doesn't see any significant improvement really. Stays in P5. Right about, out on track. 1:08.0 to his name. I think this is going to be his lap, so we'll follow along with the championship contender. That is right about in this Aston Martin. Yes, as high as possible through the SNS's. Let's see if we can do burning that battery all the way down to the braking zone of turn 4. And yeah, it seems like we really have to be a bit more tentative through turn 4 on this year's game, all the way down to 4th for right about as well. Through Ferragura now. As he goes through the double right-hander and then into this braking zone to start off the technical parts of Sector 2. Long left-hander, be patient as you get on the throttle all the way down for right about. Let's see, he's of course sliding, he's fighting it as he makes his way through Sector 2. Let's see, through that final left-hander, crosses the Sector 2 line here, and it's a fastest middle sector and almost a 1/10 of a second up on his previous. Can he get any more time to get him ever closer to Finley, who is currently sat in the advantageous position? Let's see, as he crosses the line, it's good enough. It's only a moderate improvement over Finley, but for now, that will do. Provisional pole Goes to ride it out. Finley will have a response. He has come out of the pits. It's game on for this qualifying session. QVR Verstappen, he might want to try and get a little bit closer to those guys at the top. Get a bit further from Denko maybe, who's been his main competition in this session. Is Denko going to go again? He's still in the pits right now. He's not going to have time to do a double out lap, I think, at this juncture. I think we're about 2.5 minutes away from the end of the session. I can't see. Yeah, wow, look at that, spot on. I'm that good. Meanwhile, now Flo starting a lap. We've got one of the Audis, that's Ghost, also starting a lap. And there's Griffin starting a lap. Let's find somebody on the lap for you. Runes. So that's one of the... That's Griffin getting out of the way. That leaves Verstappen just ahead of him as well. He's not on a lap. No, he is. Verstappen is on a lap. So we'll see. It's relatively close between them. They're competing, these two. I think QVR Verstappen will be more than aware that he's giving Runes a great big toe down to the end. He does it not improve. Runes does, though, and goes ahead of him. I think that toe has a lot to say for that run for Runes there. Finley about to start his final lap. Do not invalidate. Ride it out. He's going to go one more time. See if he can't eke anything more out of it. Meanwhile, Koru's starting a lap. We've got Hugo starting a lap in the background as well. Let's go back down to now Flo Lau. They're way down and invalidated as well. No chance. Lawrence about to start a lap. B. Perez about to start a lap as well. Jackalacco about to start a lap. Is that Denko? Yeah, Denko's on an out lap as well. About to start his run. So it looks like it's going to be... Is it QVR? No. Is it Runes? No, Runes just finished his. It's got to be Triku then. Not Triku either. Not Griffin. So we go back to Finley. We're circling around. Finley's invalidated. He might have time to go once more if he can make it to the line. Koru not improving and invalidated as well. Hugo. Okay, he's improving through sector 2. Finley should make it. He's that first orange dot. He's coming round to the line now. Ryder now is just behind Finley. Well, Hugo here, but he doesn't go again. He's actually charging that battery and doing one more prep lap. He should get time. This is going to go all the way down to the wire. Finley started his final lap. Hugo, you've got to think this is his final effort. Let's see what he can do across the line. And it's no improvement for Hugo in the Ferrari, but actually that could have been his preparation lap, so he can go again. That's going to be the checkered flag waved. You cross the line now, you're done. The bottom 3 finished. Let's see, is that QVR Verstappen? If Verstappen's invalidated. Jackalacco. No improvement for the time being. Let's see when he gets across the line. It's moderate up into P9 for Jacko. Let's see if Ghost can improve. Ghost is down by 1/10 of a second. Has he got anything else as he crosses the line in that Audi? We're keeping an eye on the position of the McLaren and the Aston Martin. Denko coming through the line as well. QVR Verstappen, he's done for the day. Runes, has he got anything else to get even closer to Hugo up ahead of him? Not quite. He's way down on that previous effort. Let's cut back to the front now. It's Finley. He's up by 1/10. This is good for Finley. How about Ryder-Dow? Ryder-Dow's down. Finley's looking like it could be pole position once again for the McLaren driver. It is. It's a 1 minute 6.94. Has Ryder-Dow got anything? He's up marginally by 0.03 of a second. He's coming down towards the line now. He's got all that battery to use as he comes down to the line. Can he get it? No. It's only a 100th of a second improvement. There was nothing left for Ryder-Dow to find. Finley's found it all at the last as we cross the line. And wow, it's Finley once again. A thrilling qualifying session. A sensational battle between Ryder-Dow and Finley on the timing boards. And it's going to be Finley triumphant once more and adds another pole position to this season. That will be, let's find out, 3 pole positions now to Finley. Excellent stuff. 2-time Tier 1 champion, I believe. I might be wrong there. For Finley, I think that might be 2 or 3 actually. Could be 2. But anyway, Finley is your pole man today with a Ride It Out in P2, Hugo P3, then got Runes and QVR Verstappen P4 and 5, Denko, Griffin, Koru, Ghost, Jacko the top 10, Triku, Beakerez, Nowflow, Lawrence and Avenir the rest of your starting grid. Fantastic from all the drivers who took part. Not easy when it's hot like this. I know it's, a game, but it is certainly a challenge in these hot weather conditions. And it looks nice, and it looks nice and hot out there on the track as well. So it's all to play for. Then it's going to be Finley versus Ride It Out off the line. We'll see how it goes as we head into the lights out in just a few moments' time. Let me know any predictions, of course, in the chat. Let's have a little nose on here. Just apologise to Ryan hasn't responded. Rune saying thank you to QBR for that tow. We'll see. Right then. Just a few moments away now from starting this race. Here we go then. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's not held for long. We're underway and racing. Ride It Out's got a good start over Finley. He's going to draw level as they go into turn 1 through the centre S's now. Turns 1, 2 and 3. Ride It Out got a nose ahead of Finley. Finley uses the outside line, gains the momentum, but Ride It Out's going to get the power down nice and early and get ahead of Finley right off the start. Hugo's up there as well. He's looking for any sort of move he can get as we go along. Not telemetry, we want lap data as Finley's having to defend from Hugo in the Ferrari. Fends him off for now. Finley looking for a move on Ride It Out, taps him up the back, and then down the inside he goes through Ferradura, forces Ride It Out wide. Finley's got the inside line, can't quite send a move there. QVR Verstappen up a place, Denko up a place, Runes down 2, biggest loser, biggest winner is Perez there as well. Actually Jack Halako just took the biggest loser there as well. There'll be no Scotsman of the Day award because there's only one Scotsman on the track today, by the way, Jacko. So you're not fighting for your Scottish honour at the moment. But Ride It Out's got the perfect start. It's got ahead of Finley and it's going to be able to control the race from here. Looking at tyres, it's medium to the top 5. Hards, some Runes of Ghost and Griffin. Then you've got Perez, Koru, Triku on mediums. Hards for Jacko Lawrence and Nowflow and Avenir on the mediums there as well. So I think a medium preference among the grid. Avenir's down by 2 seconds now off the pack, but racing and we're operational. Finley is on the charge and he's going to go for it already down the inside into turn 4, gets it even before the braking zone and back into the lead of this race. He is fighting for everything he's got. Koru's got some work to do, and that's Griffin out. That's Griffin out. Safety car, full safety car. Oh dear. That looks like a big crash. Not good. Not good for Griffin there. Colin's got damage as well. Anyone else with damage among the drivers? No. So I can only assume that Koru was wrapped up in that incident somehow. Is anybody going to stop? I don't think it's worth it right now, personally, but we could go on a bit of an offset to everybody else. Let's see what start of the race. Koru's in there, going to fix that damage. It's a full safety car, so he won't lose much. He will be offset from everybody else now. Although I suppose he will have at least only, let's say, a lap on those tyres. So it's not the end of the world, actually, for anybody who does stop. That's Koru. And strange new wing there on the McLaren. It's a bold concept, you've got to be sure. I question its structure, but you know, I'm no F1 engineer, I'm no aerodynamicist. Analyse that one, Reshka, for us, if you're watching. But safety car's going around. I'm going to use this time to top my water up very quickly, so I'll be back in 2 seconds. And we're back. I'd hazard a guess the safety car will be in this lap. Koru is just coming from turn 1 now, so he'll be right on the back of these guys. I have a slight advantage. We can try and overcut and drive through. You'll see though, it's not really going to be all that much difference. I feel like this has historically always been a one-stop race in Brazil. You can do a 2-stop. You just have to get it right. Obviously, Koru forced onto a 2-stop, but it's not really a 2-stop. If anything, it's kind of made his 1-stop a bit easier. A few less laps to go, and he'll still have a fresh set of mediums to use, so not hurting too much there. And again, Koru needs to try and score as many points as possible to try and, because he, you know, Finley, if Rydal gets 2nd place, then obviously Finley gets 1st. I believe it's 2 or 3 points, isn't it? It's really bad to get started. It's 4 points. So it's only going to be a 21-point gap. Koru needs to try and do whatever he can to bring that down for the constructors. When is he going to go, Finley? He's left it all the way late. There he goes. Rydal was expecting it and stays right with him. Everyone's coming down as well. That looks like Ghost going for some moves. Is that 3 or 2 in one corner? I don't know, but there's a Red Bull off the circuit. There's a lot of wheel banging in there, but Ghost has just gone up into P5. Where did he start that move? Let's have a look. He's got 2 in 1 there. Runes and Denko both caught napping by Ghost. He's got himself up into P5. Lawrence in amongst the skirmish as well. Lawrence down the inside of turn 4. He's fighting with Triku Padayak. Familiar rivals in tier 2, these 2 drivers. And Lawrence up into 8th place. Runes in 7th as well. Koru's got himself up a couple of places as well. Going to go for another one down the inside of the Scotsman Jackalacko and gets the job done. It's not the Jackalacko, sorry, it's Nalflo. Jacko's ahead of him and Koru almost losing that car. The 2 big wigs here in tier 1. Hugo and Kvyat Verstappen, they'll do well to stay with them. They'll want to. They'll be squabbling over that podium, Verstappen and Hugo. They are fighting for 3rd in this championship. Let's just have a little look. The standings, let's see here. But was Lifebout missing? Actually, no, well, no, not quite actually. Hugo's not fighting for 3rd because he did miss at least 3 races. So Verstappen's looking to eke out a gap on Lifebout. Ghost is the next closest for 3rd if you ignore Chris and Lifebout. So I think Kvyat Verstappen will be locked in for 3rd place. at this point in the season, with only 2 rounds to go after this one. Quite about close once again to the back of Finley, but no attack launch. Denko is the man in 5th place now. He's got back ahead of Ghost by the looks of things. Ghost has got wing damage on his front left end plate. When did he sustain that? Denko, no damage to be seen on his car. Ghost won't be too happy to sustain damage to Denko, but he does seem to be feeling its effects. He's going to have the overtake mode active, so he'll have that to his advantage to use as and when he wishes. Koru gets up ahead of Malflo once again, chopping and changing those two. What we've got to do his best. He's got Lawrence to deal with next. Now P10. Doing well to hold off. Let's see. Runes is closing in on Ghost. Ghost with that damage again under steering. I don't know how he got that. Ghost will do his best to adapt to it. Let's see. Not a lot happening right now, but the car's just settling back into the race. After that safety car restart, Avanis 6 seconds down. I'm not sure what's happened to Avanis just now. He's way down the order as long as he gets past Jacko Acco. Spin perhaps for Jacko. I'm not sure. It's an orthodox place to lose the position. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Keeping up with Stappen, falling away a little bit from the leaders. Doing there, Jacko and Koru, that's Jacko and Lawrence, sorry, they're battling it out. Lawrence trying to go on the outside of turn 1, can't make it stick. Actually, no, that's Jacko going up the inside of Lawrence, and Lawrence trying to keep the outside. On the back of the Scotsman, no chance there. Meanwhile, Kvyat Verstappen is dropping away now from the leaders. Hugo staying right with them. So a battle for the win between 3 cars. You've got a McLaren, an Aston Martin and a Ferrari. All battling at the front. Denko in no man's land. Almost leading this train to P5. With that end, his Ghost still struggling with that car. Down his second car. It looks like quite a bit of wing damage actually. It's not like a little bit. It's quite a bit of that front wing that is missing off of that Audi, so he'd be annoyed as well because he was going for the longer strategy, and Rooms is going to try and take advantage. Down the inside Rooms goes. Ghost, nothing much doing there to defend that position. Can he take it back though? In towards turn number 4. Let's see. He's close to the back of Rooms, but Rooms just pulling away. No doing there for Rooms. That extra straight line speed from the boost mode or the straight overtake mode, whatever it is, not doing Ghost any favours. So back at the front, other than Jack and Lawrence, this is the closest back on the track. We'd have to do is like implement a button, wouldn't we? You put it on. Let's see. Because when you open the spectator menu, right? Obviously you use the D-pad to control the spectator menu. As Hugo's looking for a move down into the rider now while I'm chatting absolute nonsense. And then side by side through the centre S, there's no doing there. Rider now holds him off. Hugo unable to go for a counter attack, well, another attack, I should say. As they go down into turn 4, that's Perez and Malfo swapping places further back. But as I was saying, so when the spectator menu is not open, the D-pad does nothing. So why don't they add double functionality where the D-pad can like change the camera angle? Do something, you know. I mean, yeah, replays might be a bit much to ask, but changing the camera angle, just using the left and right on the D-pad, would be pretty cool, I think. Anyway, we're racing. We're not talking about EA and how they could improve their game, which they refuse to do. But Hugo, that attack has taken a lot out of him, and in fact, so much so that he's now outside of a second to Ridedow, and Ridedow is now left to deal with Finley, who is at his mercy. The top two in the championship, the top two in the race. Denko and Ghost swapping places again. Koru's in the pits again. Could that be another wing change for the McLaren? No, it's tyres. Stopping early is Koru. No, it is a wing change. Another set of hards for Koru. And honestly not doing what he needs to do for McLaren right now and maximising the points scored. It's only going to be 2 points scored, which will mean 6 points swing in the constructors, which will see the gap go to 19 points. It is a gain, obviously, but it's not the gain it could have been. There's still plenty of racing laps left to go, but Koru is not pulling his weight, I would say, in that McLaren right now. Finley doing everything he can to hold off Ridedow and keep that 4-point advantage alive. He'll need it for his own championship, but the constructors it's a nice thing to get as well alongside a drivers' championship, I think. It's the perfect record, isn't it? Anyways, Ghost managing the damage, doing everything he can to stay with Denko and Runes. That car is so squirrely. Just that front end is so destabilised by the lack of front wing, and actually Triku now has got himself a chance of getting involved in this battle. 4-car battle for 5th place. Hugo and Verstappen in no man's land completely now. There'll be a squabble between them to get this one done. Riding out, following along for the time being. Finley holding station. Ghost getting close to the back of Denko. This could be a move. Looking to the inside is Ghost. Yeah, he is. Denko going to leave in the room. Side by side they're going to go. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers as they go down? It's certainly Ghost. Locks that front left. Big plume of smoke. He gets the place and gets up ahead of Denko. He'll be setting his sights on Runes next. He's managing this race much better, even with the damage. And he's still at the front. Ahead of Denko now. He's got Runes next to deal with. Tricky Badai still hanging on for now. Let's see how this goes. Side by side for Perez, and now flow through Ferradura. This can end in tears, but it's not going this time. Now flow backs off. B. Perez gets the place, and up into P11. Just slipping away from Runes now. Love a lock up on that front left. I think he'll just about get the overtake mode, will he? Oh, I don't know actually. Yes, he will. It's hard to tell. I think he has, because of how much he's gained just down that straight alone. Denko, P7. Let me turn on the telemetry here to see. Yeah, we did get overtake mode. We'll keep the telemetry up there, I suppose, just to see battery levels. Well, not even just the battery levels, but the other drivers have been overtaken or not. As Hugo is the first to fall to track limits. 3-second time penalty for the Ferrari. That's music to Verstappen's ears. He's 1.6 behind. and in the prime position to steal a podium at the last, should he manage to stay within 3 seconds. Ryderdown still struggling to get past. This Ghost has had a problem. I think Ghost might have had some wheel spin, little half spin round, and he puts him all the way back down behind Triku now. And it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back for Ghost in this instance. And now that's 10 seconds for Hugo speeding in the pit lane. He's done that before. And now that's him in a bit of hot water now in this race. Verstappen's coming as well. He'll pit right down the end. Denko's in as well. And pitting off this medium tyres. So the first of the... I mean, Hugo was in no man's land, wasn't he, after that fight with Ryderdown, so we'll see what happens here. QVR Verstappen figures the fair shout for the podium now for him. Denko's not too far behind, but Denko also has found himself in a time penalty. What kind of time penalty be that? It's 10 seconds for speeding as well. IGP helping the numbers being made up today, but they can't help but speed in the pit lane apparently. So it's 2 IGP drivers both getting caught out by that one. Such a simple, easy mistake to avoid really. Anyway. Moving on into the pits comes Tricky Badiak in the Williams. Ghost stays out of course. Hard tyres, got to make them work as best he can. But he'll have to contend with a wing change. But I think Ghost would have a bit more pace come those latter stages of the race. Jacko's not far behind his teammate there as well. Tricky's making his way out of the pits. He'll be behind Denko, I think. How close he'll be with the group driver is beholden to that. That's a bit embarrassing for Triku as he lights the rears up and has a little chat with Barry R as he makes his way out of the pits. Meanwhile, the front driver's still out there, 15 laps on his medium tyres. 6 tenths the gap between them. Who's going to blink first between these two titans? They're both coming in at the same time. They're both pitting. Oh, Ryderdown! 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. It's another brick in the face, I suppose, for Ryderdown's championship, as that's a 10-second time penalty. And we'll see how close drivers finish behind him, but it's going to be a fly in the ointment. It's, again, so avoidable. So avoidable. There you go, looking for those fine margins, those little bits of time. It's cost 3 drivers now a 10-second time penalty. 2 of them were running in the top 3. Well, Rune's now your race leader, but your net race lead is here with Finley. Avenir's done it as well. That's another IGP 10-second time penalty. Finley passes Lawrence with ease. Lawrence is now a roadblock between Ryderdown and Finley, but Ryderdown is not going to sit behind the Tier 2, well, multiple Tier 2 champion. It's going to dispatch him with ease as well. Jackalacco up next. And the Scotsman out on the track. And those gaps have settled down now. Ryderdown looking to stay with Finley here. This is Finley's chance to break away from Ryderdown and start stretching his legs. And he doesn't have to do much now, really. Finley's just got to bring it home and stay ahead of Ryderdown or within 10 seconds of him. Finley, yeah, pulls to the inside of Jacko. Jacko doesn't fight that one. I think he knows when to call it a day against a driver like Finley. Finley up ahead, closing in on that lead that he held Ridedown going to do the same thing. Jacko there's a bit more trouble. Jacko get on the inside there, but Ridedown gives plenty of room. Jacko gives plenty of room as well. And they get through without a scratch. Ridedown, he has to do it, to be fair. He has to get these moves done as quick as he possibly can if he wants any chance in this race. As they're trading fastest laps now. It was Finley very briefly, and then it was Ridedown the fastest lap there. As once again, now Flo in the wars. This time with Denko. 18 lap on hard tyres. I think the hard runners will be coming in any minute now. Lawrence and Ghost swapping places. Lawrence and Hugo, sorry, swapping places as well. Excuse me, as Finley has caught up to Ghost already. Excuse me. There's Fresh Hearts doing all the work. That Ghost, Fresh Hearts simply cannot, well, Warm Hearts simply cannot now. Let's see, his Rune's going to come into the pits. Mercedes driver, no, stays out another lap. As Finley and Ridedown are actually at it. They're battling behind Ghost. Oh my word, and Finley's almost trapped. It's a Schumacher-Hakkinen situation from Spa. Ridedown's going for it. Finley's going to go all the way around the outside again. And this time Finley gets ahead of Ridedown. Doesn't let him get the traction this time. And Ridedown's going to be all over the back of Finley now. Ghost has got a fantastic seat to this battle. And Ridedown's going to be down the inside there on to turn 4. But Finley's going to keep him pinned to the inside. Keep that outside line and keep the Aston Martin, crucially, behind him. Now Ridedown closing back in again, but he's going to have to settle down through Sector 2 now. I think Ghost was just a passenger in all that one, as the two championship leaders went battling right around him with a Hakkinen Schumacher-esque move down into turn 1. That's some good stuff. His Rune's going to pit. Is it going to be this lap? No, he's going to keep going. Stretching those tyres out as long as he possibly can. Ridedown, I've got to say, looks a bit more racy now, especially with that time penalty. Walking to the inside. Ghost falls foul to the time penalties now, as he gets a 10-second time penalty. What is everyone's problem today? Nobody can brake for that pit lane entrance. It's happening to drivers of all caliber. Ghost with the ring change. I think the ring damage would have definitely had an effect on Ghost's ability to slow that car there. Less drag, of course. Ridedown with 3-second time penalty now as well. It's 13 seconds of penalties for Ridedown, and it's all coming down. Finley, let's see how many penalties he's got. Any warnings he's got, let's say 1. 1 warning for Finley. He can afford to get 1 more, but no more than that. Ridedown continues to be in some trouble. Rooms is the next driver in the way. Could it happen again? Not quite. Finley's going to dispatch of the Mercedes with ease. Ridedown surely gets his way past Rooms here. Inside. Lawrence has done it now as well. It's time penalty after time penalty. Ridedown gets up ahead. Avenir's retired from the race, so he was lapped anyway. That's both Alpines out. There's 50 seconds of time penalties in there, all for speeding in the pits. Lawrence and Ghost, and then Denko, Hugo and Ridedown, all with time penalties. Anyone else gonna get a time penalty to their name here today? Track limits is, you know, fair enough, it happens. you're pushing, you go over the white line every now and again. You might get a time penalty, but avoidable runes. Can he stop for the pits? No, he can't as well. Is there a glitch or something? Or is everybody just braking that little bit too late for the pits? Jackalacco's managed to do it where no one else could. Maybe not a glitch then. It's uncertain at this time. We'll see. It could well be a glitch. We'll find out later on in the stewards. Alto's come in. He's not managed to get a 10-second time penalty as well. I don't know if this is the most the lobby with the most 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Koru seems to have just been an innocent bystander in Griffin's crash earlier on, as he's apologised in the chat. It happens. Koru up in P9, so a decent handful of points. Better than being in last place. He's got to go a long way though on those tyres, and he's going to be around now medium runners. But what he's got to do, I think, is focus on his own race now and do everything in his power to finish the race within the 10-second time penalties of the drivers ahead. That's Lawrence included, by the way, as he also has a speeding penalty. So I don't think Cora will be too worried about him. So let's try and start 6. So he's only going to be benefiting off of Ghost right now. I think he's too far from Runes and Ghost. Meanwhile, right back at the front, it's business as usual. Finley versus Ryderdow. We'll take a look in a moment and see what the gap is to leader. So to the leader it's 12 seconds. So Ryderdow should be safe in P2, but Kvyat Verstappen is going to jump Hugo as it stands. So Hugo will lose out on that podium, unless of course it is a glitch. And we'll see. I'm sure the drivers will look back on their footage to try and see if they did in fact speed enough at the moment. And usually those very cut and dry, those time penalties. There's not much you can do about that. Looking to defend from Lawrence. Should he launch an attack? Attack Lawrence this time around. Ryderdow to go on the attack. In fact, there was an attack on Koru, and it came before Ferradura, and he got the move done. Superior grip on those medium tyres, propelling that Haas ahead of the McLaren. Koru losing out for the Papaya team. Ryderdow putting the pressure on now, looking to the inside, going to try and draw a level. Is he? Not quite. Finley using the battery well to keep Ryderdow at bay. There's just been no way past him. He's sick to death at the back of that McLaren. We've got 11 to go as we're well past the halfway point of this race now. Lap 18. Let's see. This race has settled down quite a lot, in fact. Various times. Will there be some team orders, perhaps, at Audi? Ghost let Jackalacco go through, given that Ghost has that time penalty. Let's see. whoever he can catch Runes, Ghost is of course in. I mean, the only way he doesn't, they don't go for it, I suppose, is if he believes that he can get that time penalty removed. Let's see what Jacko and Ghost do as they come through. That's Rider out. Must have had a mistake somewhere because he's well off. And yet, there it is. Team orders from Audi. Sends Jakalaka on his way to go and catch Denko. And Runes up ahead. All he's got to do is finish within the 10 seconds of their time penalties. And that'll be enough for the Scotsman to propel himself up. And you think he'd be able to do it, especially at least on Denko, who's on his 12 lap old hards. That's and we all have the worst tyres as the race. But Ryder seems to have caught right back up. Meanwhile, so a little mistake led to a momentary lapse of being outside of a second, and now he's back within a second. Not much to comment on right now. The safety car would be fun, I think, to finish this race off. I think Jacko maybe going to try and drag Lawrence, not Lawrence, Ghost, along with him perhaps. A bit of truck and trailer going on. The Runes will be all aware that Jacko doesn't have a penalty behind. As Cora loses another place to beat Perez. Those old tyres are not doing him any favours. They're not doing McLaren any favours either. I think he'll be praying for a safety car at this point. I don't know if it's going to come. Can he launch an attack? Down the inside of Finley into turn 1, down the outside, wherever we can find it, really. We can find it on this occasion. Going round once more. At 29 of 36. Goes to Jacko. Still doing the best. Jacko struggling a bit to close up that gap. I think Runes is catching Denko ever so slightly. He is. A few tenths here and there. Denko sort of in no man's land, in a big no man's land, I suppose. It's QB on Verstappen right now. Who dropped off the leaders right at the start and has sort of been here ever since. He's dropped about a second to Hugo, who, as it stands, will still be losing that place, should that be a legit time penalty. Although, interesting, that's actually, Verstappen will need to catch up to the leaders enough to put Ryder down to third place. Let's see. Making his way through. And he's behind him. He's caught up by about 0.6 of a second on this lap. So hunting down the Greek driver is the Aussie. Jakalako not really got an answer to the pace at the moment. Got to hope from a mistake from the Mercedes driver or something to get him in this. Because right now he's not really producing the pace to get within that 10 seconds to benefit off of that time penalty. And really it needs to be about, it needs to gain up to about 6 or 7 seconds, I think, in order to really benefit and get 5th place. Not really got the pace in that Audi right now. Rider down Finley. Still line astern. Still no doing. Gosh, this race has got incredibly dull over the time. What can we talk about? What can we talk about? There's nobody in the chat. Bacon Bear is celebrating her foray into the top 10 in Tier 3. Fantastic stuff. Big shout out to Bacon Bear, by the way. I had the pleasure of battling against her in Singapore in Tier 2 a couple of weeks ago. And I must say, it was one of the best battles I've had in a long time. Very clean racing from Bacon Bear, and I think a much deserved foray into the top 10. So shout out to Bacon Bear, if Bacon Bear is watching this, of course. And congratulations, it's Ryder trying to give us some entertainment down the inside of Finley. No doing there again, but he's going to be very close to the back as Finley has a big moment as they're going through. Maybe there was a tap on the back of that McLaren, but now Ryder it's his chance to control the race and take the lead, and he does. But you've got to think Finley's going to stay right with him. He might even try and go back on the inside. He gets the up and under, and he's going to go the long way round through Ferrajora. Ryder will do his best to keep this one, but he can't. Finley showed some fantastic racecraft and some race knowledge, and keeping Ryder now, I think, in his place. Jacko closing up a bit more now. But still drifting around that 1.7. He was 11 seconds a minute ago. That 10.7, I should say. I'm going to keep an eye on Ryder down Finley. I think he could erupt any moment between them, as it just did while we were giving the praise, well-deserved praise to Bacon Bear, and it's going to go again. Ryder now down the inside. This move has tried and tried again, but Finley is so savvy to it. Ryder down! He's going to go for a drift through turn 3. Oh my word! He's managed to keep that one, but that's a 2-second gap now. And this could change things, potentially. No, it won't really. Hugo's he's still too far ahead, I think. But that's surely the writing on the wall now. Well, actually, no, Ryder's got 13 seconds, hasn't he? So Finley, could Ryder lose? I mean, let's see if it finishes now. Ryder's race time will be about, let's say, well, he'll get 13 seconds added to his race time. The gap would be 15. Hugo will get 10, and he's already 10 seconds back. Yeah, no, there's no chance. What am I talking about? I think he needs to be way closer. He needs to be within 3 seconds of Ryder to even consider it. Verstappen's looking like he's going to be on for that podium though. As we've got 3 to go. Ryder just gave it a bit too much, I think. And that'll definitely be some track limits there as he's just trying everything to catch up. But Finley is going to stretch that advantage once again. For Horror will score. Let's have a look. Currently scored 5. So it'll be a 9-point swing, which will mean it'll be a 16-point gap in the constructors should the race end like this. It's looking more and more likely as the laps tick down onto the penultimate lap now with Finley. Ryder now just behind in the background starts his 35th lap of this Grand Prix. Jackalacco, we're in business almost. He's got to do a little bit more and he can get within that time, and he could finally be looking at P6 on the road, on the road, but on paper. He's got it now. He's got to continue to push. Hope for a Denko mistake, maybe. Runes has not made much inroads on Denko in the last few laps. I mean, the closest battle on track is Ghost and Jacko, but they're not battling. They're just kind of driving along each other, really. Jacko's still not getting much out of it. It's going to be tight. He's going to have to put all of his eggs in his basket on that final lap. He's got a lot of battery. Although I think he just touched the grass there a bit. I don't know, it's interesting. Finley, 3-second time penalty, it's not going to matter now. Unless that... Oh, no, not even then. But still, I think all those... I'm 90% sure that all those 10-second time penalties were legit, by the way. As Jacko Lacko, he's got a bit more of a handhold now on Runes. 6 tenths is the gap now. We're on that final lap, and it has been impervious from Finley. He hasn't put a foot wrong until, well, a couple of small moments and then a quick 3-second time penalty. But I think it was Ryderdow is going to come out of this race with egg on his face. It's going to be a 9-point swing. It'll be 16 points in the championship. It'll be 4 more points gained, which will put Finley ahead by a nice 8 points as Finley crosses the line in P1. P2 is Ryderdow. Hugo going to cross the line in P3 on the road, but it's going to be Verstappen who's managed to stay within that time as the 10-second time penalty is served. As he crosses the line, Verstappen gets on that final spot on the podium. Denko finishes in P5, Hugo P4. Runes, it's not looking like P6 for Runes. It's Jakalako going to steal it at the last moment, as he finally did everything he could to catch up. Ghost serves his penalty, but he'll stay in P8. Damage limitation on that one. B. Perez is going to get Lawrence, even if he doesn't pass him on the road. Pushes him across the line. It's a photo finish, but then Lawrence is added by 10 seconds, so he loses the place anyway. Even if the gap was only a few hundredths of a second. Cora going to come home in P11. It's crucial points. Maybe should have been more from Koru, but his race was upended at the start. Not his fault, unfortunately. So I can't put too much shade on Koru there. But it's a 9-point gain nonetheless for McLaren in the constructors. It's game on into the final 2 rounds. Oh, it's an interesting season as we go along. Ryderdow has used up all of his luck, it seems. It's still anyone's. It's only 8 points the gap after this race between the top 2. So it's far from over, but it's the ball in Finley's court now, I think. And Finley is your race winner this evening. Started on pole, finished the race on pole. Ryderdow will get an extra point, so it'll actually be 7 points for fastest lap there. Crucial points gained, so it'll be an 8-point swing in the constructors after all that. Verstappen finishes on the final place on the podium with Hugo and Denko the top 5. Jacko, Runes, Ghost, B. Perez and Lawrence the top 10. Then I have Koru, Nowflow, Trico, the rest of the finishers, with Avenir and Griffin not finishing the race after Griffin's unfortunate accident at the start. Well then, it's all fine margins. It's going to be a 17-point gap on the constructors after Ryderdow got the fastest lap. It's going to be 7 points in the Drivers' Championship as well. That fastest lap doing all the work to keep Ryderdow from losing too many points. But that's it. We got 2 rounds left to go. We got a trip to Abu Dhabi and a trip to Bahrain to finish off this season. If you've made it all the way to the end, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate it very much. Go and watch all the other streams. We've got Tier 3, Tier 2, and Formula 2, which will be on Sunday. Um, the podcast might be delayed this week. I'm not sure what's going on yet, though. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah. Thank you all so very much for watching, guys. I'm going to go and cool down now. Get a nice cold drink, I think. And I will see you guys next week for, I think it's, I want to say it's Abu Dhabi. It's Abu Dhabi. Is it Abu Dhabi? Clicking the wrong time. So it is Abu Dhabi. So see you next week for round number 9 of Tier 1. And try and stay nice and cool and hydrated in these horrible, horrible heat waves. And stay safe as well. I've got that alert warning on my phone for wildfires. So everybody stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.